Hey, this is Mark Rodriguez.
And this is Johnny Rodriguez, and you're watching the Video Game Masters.
And today we're talking about the big one, yes. In today's episode, we're checking out King of Fighters 15.
I can't wait for this one. Let's check it out.
Oh man, this is just ridiculous. Look at this shit. It's like 85 minutes, guys. 85 minutes. It's already past midnight. As I'm filming this is like, opening day when the game was just released for pre-order.
And
it's past midnight.
that's a wrench for another day.
Oh, come on, Johnny. It's a good rant. I mean, check it out. Like, back in the day, I could just pop this game into my Super Nintendo and just play it, without waiting for it to load. I mean, it's a good rant.
Sorry, bro, but we don't want this to be a 2-hour episode. Let's get to the actual game.
Alright, let's get into it. Like you would say, let's check it out.
Round 1, ready, go!
The King of Fighters 15 was released in February of this year, 2022, by SNK for the PlayStation 4 and 5, the Xbox Series X and S, and Windows PC gaming. The game continues with the classic matches between teams of 3, where you win by defeating all 3 members of the opposing team during several matches. The story deals with Hydern, Dolores, and Isla preparing themselves for the arrival of Reverse after the defeat of Verse in the previous tournament. Somehow, Reverse and Verse are related to Shune and Isla's powers.
The King of Fighters 15 brings back a lot of familiar faces like Kyoko Tsunagi, Iori Yagami, Terry Bogard, Ryo Sakazaki, Kagura Shizuru, Yashiro Nanakase, Chris, Sherby, Elizabeth Blanktorch, and Ash Crimson makes their first appearances in modern-day graphics. You also have Cronin, who is a copyright-safe version of K49, and the brand new characters Isla and Dolores.
You also get DLC teams. The first team so far consists of Gato, B. Janet, and Rock Howard, and the next team coming up will be Yamasaki, Billy Khan, and Geese Howard. We still have 2 other mystery teams to go. I wonder who they're gonna be. The game also recently added Omega Rugal as free DLC. You can challenge him in a brand new boss mode, but it really turns up the SNK boss syndrome to the extreme. Omega Rugal is even worse than this game's real final boss. The game is fast-paced and designed for both beginners and long-time experts. You still have the rolling dodge as well as the knockdown attack from the ground and from the air. You can also use EX versions of your regular special moves. Some moves bounce the characters off the walls or off the ground, or knocks them to their knees in a slow fashion. This leaves them wide open for longer combos and juggles. You can also cancel your special attacks into super moves, and you can cancel your level 1 super move into your level 2 super moves. You also have auto combos from King of Fighters 14 where you just mash the weak punch button, but this time you can do level 2 or even max level super moves if you have your special bar full when you're doing the combo. Of course, the max level super moves are awesome and cinematic looking.
After you defeat all your opponents in story mode, you face Reverse. She's basically the female version of Verse, the boss of the last game. She seems to be related to Isla's powers, and even though it's not her, she does look almost like a savage monstrous version of Isla, complete with the gas mask. Once you take her down, you face the true boss Otoma Raga. Her body is covered in crystals, and she used the ones on her head as a screen-filling battering ram. This makes it hard to attack her since she can cover the whole screen at any time, and multiple times whenever she wants. To make it worse, when you're about to defeat her, her body turns from blue to red, and her attacks are even more damaging.
I don't know, Johnny. I still think Omega Rugal's worse. Alright guys, so here are my thoughts on King of Fighters 15. The game's a lot of fun. I enjoyed the 2 free betas they had. I like that each one had different characters and, new characters each time. So it's kind of cool for you to get used to it and get more and more pumped up for the game. This is the first time I actually did like a big pre-order digital purchase, because usually I don't do that. It was an $80 purchase, but hey, why not? You get the base game, you get the Mark of the Wolves outfit for Terry Bogard, you get the digital only exclusive King of Fighters 96 outfit for Leona, and you also get the first 2 DLC teams for free instead of, buying them separately whenever they come out. So that's pretty cool, and yeah, good deal.
And like I said, the game's pretty good to jump in for beginners and for experts. When you go online, of course, you will get thrashed by the combo crazy Marvel vs. Capcom 2 combo guys out there, but I still feel that there's like an even playing field. You can still encounter lots of matches that you can win and get better at and stuff like that. I got very late to the party to King of Fighters 14, so by the time I hopped online, everyone was thrashing me with that gameplay. But with King of Fighters 15, it kind of sort of feels like a mixture between, you know, I guess more modern, more complex gameplay with combos and bouncing off the wall and whatever, but it still kind of plays like a, I don't know, like a mixture of that and a more modern, fast-paced version of the older King of Fighters 96 and 97 type game. So, you know, there's something for everyone there. It's a cool game. It's kind of a cool beginner King of Fighters game for people that are like jumping in this late and saying like, hey, what's this game about or whatever. So it's kind of cool to check it out. And I do like the presentation now. The story mode is simplistic. It's not like a big, you know, like Mortal Kombat or Injustice God Among Us kind of storyline. It's their typical King of Fighters / early Street Fighter 2 storylines, just that there's some cinematics here and there. And when the characters, you know, certain characters with a history, like, you know, Kyo Niyori or Mai and Andy, when they meet up, they do have like a little cinematic of them reacting to each other, so that's pretty interesting here and there. I also like the little intros in the story mode, that whenever you fight against a team, let's say the new girl team they have, if you fight them, like whoever the first opponent is, like Yuri for example, there's like a little intro thing. It's like, hey, here's Yuri Sakazaki, you know, she's awesome, or, you know, here's Joe Higashi, the Muay Thai champ, and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, you know, minor information for people that are unfamiliar with the characters, so that's pretty cool. I like that. But overall, it's a pretty good game. I also feel that this game doesn't have, you know, they didn't have the big 50 characters of King of Fighters 14, but it actually works for it because with less characters, there's more time to focus on them and make sure they're complete and everything. A lot of the characters in 14, especially the newer ones, felt incomplete or whatever, you know what I mean? Here, all the characters have better, you know, gameplay, better combos. People that came back from 14 are reworked with new moves and stuff like that. You know, they all feel more fleshed out and more ready to play and everything. And of course with the DLC and stuff, I'm sure it'll eventually be like 50 fighters in the end anyway. But at least they're taking their time this way, and it just works out a lot better. And the graphics are also a bit more, I should say, zoomed in, I guess, or a bit larger. In King of Fighters 14, everything looked a little, I guess, more spaced out or something, the camera view. So that works for it. So yeah, so the game's pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun. If you're any kind of SNK fan or King of Fighters fan, or you're just curious, like, what's the fuss about? Because there's like 15 games in the series, right? Like, what is this game about? You know, I say check it out.
I can't really say too much about it because I haven't really played the game, but KOF 15 does look great. I can't wait to play it.
One more thing I want to say is, like, these weird new bosses we've been encountering in these latest games. Like, I don't know, like, Burst was just like this giant monster that can't really say anything besides Burst, you know, and Reverse is pretty much the same thing. And then Otomo Raja is like an elder god or something that also talks in, I guess, like some foreign tongue or something. And it's like, we never really find out like more stuff about these bad guys, like who they are. And I guess like you lose a lot of, you know, I guess like story or lore or whatever, because they can't really talk. You know, they can't really go into their motivations or whatever. They just want to destroy stuff like just because or whatever. And there's like a certain, I don't know, there's a certain charisma with like Rugal and Gonit and like, you know, Chrysalid and stuff like that. Even Ignis with the, you know, is this the end of lovable Ignis and stuff like that. All these weird lines and character nuances and things like that I don't know, these kind of lost with these bosses. And since this story is apparently over, this is the end of the saga, but it's kind of weird because this is like the first time that a King of Fighters story only ends in 2 games. Instead of like, it's usually 3 games, sometimes 4, but this is the first time the story wraps up in just 2 games. So again, I'm kind of curious what's next for King of Fighters. What's going to happen to King of Fighters 16? Like, who's like the big boss or the big bad guy of that one? You know, whenever we get there. By the way, still a fun game, still pretty awesome. If you're a King of Fighters fan or a fighting game fan in general, just hop right in and check it out. It's a pretty awesome game. And on that note, guys, the wraps up this episode of Video Game Masters. This is Mark Rodriguez.
And this is Johnny Rodriguez. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
And hell yeah, I'm going to play some more King of Fighters 15.